And salutations, folks. Another week, another episode of Inside IU Volleyball. And as usual, Sherry Dunbar joins me. Coach, thanks again for hosting me.
You're welcome.
Just what I always enjoy coming in from the outside, and it's a little more dreary today, so it's a special occasion here. And I know that you're taking time out of a day where you have 3 games in 5 days this weekend. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But first, I want to address this past weekend.
Okay.
Closing a homestand with Northwestern and Illinois both coming in. What did you see on the floor this weekend with your girls?
Well, I thought against Northwestern, I thought for 3 sets, we played pretty good volleyball. I think we were hitting over 300 after 3 sets. And then we shot ourselves in the foot in the 4th and 5th sets. I thought it was great that we got to 5 sets with them. I think we were competitive in that. But as we went through the 4th and 5th set, we made a lot of errors, and our hitting percentage went way down. And Northwestern played better. I thought they got better as the match went along and played a good match. But I thought we really hurt ourselves. So, then bounced back and playing Illinois, who I thought had another good match and are a little bit different. Both teams are similar in the way they set a lot of their pins and don't use their middles as much. Northwestern, I think, as the match went along, used their middles and right sides more. Illinois always sticks to setting their pins. They rarely go to their middle offense. They use their middles mainly as blockers. So we knew that. We had prepared for that. And I thought for parts of the match we played fairly well. And then I felt like the first 2 sets were just kind of neck and neck. And then the 3rd set we really kind of fell apart. So disappointed in that. Excited about the crowds. We had great crowds over the weekend. And I think, I went recruiting last night, and so many people came up to me and just said, we love coming and watching your team play. We love the fight in them. And I think they see the potential, and I think they see the young kids getting better. And we just have to keep believing and keep coming back in practice every day and finding ways to get better.
How do you address practice in the middle of the season? Is it even different from what you go through at the beginning? How does that progress throughout the year?
Well, yeah, obviously all stages of the year are different, but as we go through the Big Ten season, obviously, which is different, is kind of analyzing where we are every weekend. And Coach K went through on Sunday and pretty much dissected, our opponents in the Big Ten to us in every statistical category, from every set we set to, how many digs were different than our opponents, or hitting percentage errors, service aces to service errors, blocking, all those type of things, because we need to see where we're falling short. And we know where we're falling short, and we're addressing that this week in practice as we have been, and we'll find ways to make that better, and we'll see some improvement in that. And I think you have to do that as you go through. If you're winning or losing, I think you have to do that, because you have to kind of, sometimes when you watch a match or you watch film, you kind of have a feel for what's going on, but you really have to dissect a lot of things to really understand it fully.
Does it get easier to do that with the larger sample size that you guys now have with a few games under your belt?
Oh, sure. Yeah, with 6 games under our belt, I think we definitely know kind of where. And the good thing is we've addressed a lot of the problems in the off season, and there are things that we've been deficient in the last couple of years that we're doing very well in. Our defense, as a matter of fact, as a total against our opponents, we're only 5 digs under what our opponents are doing, and that's been a huge deficiency in the last few years for us, and is not right now. So we're excited about that. There are some areas that we've really made improvements in. So, we just have to get better at the other areas.
Yeah. The question I want to switch to, we've had the chance to talk with Sean Meehan from the Hoosier Aces. We'll actually play that, and when we come back, I'll ask you just about the impact that fan section has. Back at the university gym, Saturday evening, no better way than to spend it than with one of the directors of the Hoosier Student Athletic Board. Sean Meehan joins me, member of the Hoosier Aces. Sean, let's talk a little bit about your role with that program. What's the hierarchy like of the Student Athletic Board? How do you really make this thing go?
Well, the Student Athletic Board consists of roughly over 300 students, all IU obviously, who is on all volunteer basis, volunteer for the sports, all 24 sports that they wish to. And the Hoosier Aces is the brand that obviously represents volleyball. Now, there's 3 directors, myself being one of them, 2 others, but then the other members are mass members or chair members for the Student Athletic Board, and they're all part of the Hoosier Aces, or what we brand ourselves as. The Aces is a fairly new branch of the Student Athletic Board. This is its 2nd year in existence. It was actually founded last season. and so we're trying to get our brand out a little more, both on Twitter at Hoosier Aces and with the shirts we custom made this year.
So let's show off that shirt here for a second. That's not a bad piece of merchandise, Sean. Where'd that one come from?
Last weekend, I believe, actually, or 2 weeks ago, for the Penn State game on ESPN, we featured Penn State versus IU, and it was the Redout, as most people may know. And we decided to unveil our design, both for the Twitter account and for the shirts, at that game to help promote fans to come out to the game, but as well as give supporters something to be excited about.
Are you going to have some more of those shirts?
It is in discussions, and because of the popularity, they went to the first 100 fans here, and we were out before half hour of the game even came around. So we're in discussion to get more fans, specifically more parents, senior citizens who come on their bus, and this season ticket holders, because the demand seems to be fairly high for those non-students as well. So hopefully we can get another batch brewing here shortly.
A little free publicity for the Hoosier Aces, always a lot of appreciation among the volleyball team for their strongest fan section. And Sean Meehan, one of the big guys there. Back to the studio.
Good stuff from Sean. Good stuff from the Hoosier Aces this past weekend. Fan support was strong, like you said before. What does it mean to have a dedicated student section coming to your games, especially in Big Ten competition?
Well, if anyone knows anything about going to venues in the Big Ten, a lot of them have student sections, and Purdue has like a dorm that they have that comes all the time, and everybody kind of has their own thing. So this is kind of a new thing for us over the last couple of years, and it's really been a godsend. I mean, these kids love volleyball, first of all, and I think that's great because they understand the sport and they actually enjoy coming to the sport and watching high-level volleyball, and then they just really like our kids, and they're a great social media outlet for us. Every time we put something on Twitter, they retweet it and talk about things and get, they have meetings, and they just drum up a lot of support for us, and it's just great to know that our students, because where we're located right now is not the ideal place, because we're not right on campus. That's being fixed, hopefully in the next couple of years, and that's fantastic, but their ability to get the word out of where we are and what's going on that night and what promotions are active, I think has been really helpful for us.
You're going to get a good look at some of the other student sections in the Big Ten again. You're going to Nebraska, one of the great ones in the conference, and then up to rival Purdue. Just talk about what you're going to see this weekend. It's, again, 3 games in 5 days all on the road.
Yeah, we'll play 2 ranked opponents in those 5 days, and Nebraska in their new facility, and that'll be a great crowd, over 8,000, and we're excited about that opportunity. And then going to Iowa, which is a very different venue to play in at Carter Hawkeye Arena. So they get some fans, but it's hard to really tell. It's a very expansive basketball arena, so it's a very different environment for us. And then, of course, going up to Purdue, which is a little bigger than our facility, but feels tight, in a big student section. So 3 different venues really to play in 5 days, so we're going to have to adjust quick. But 3 very good opponents, and we're scouting them as, before you got here and after you leave, I'll be scouting them, and I think we'll be ready to go.
As I walked into your office, you were watching video, no exaggeration. So, Coach, I'll let you get back to that. Thanks again for letting us come in. All 3 of those games this weekend, and then on Tuesday is Purdue, and all 3 of them will be available on IUHoosiers.com. You can catch them there. For Sherry Dunbar, I'm Piers Cavanaugh saying so long, travel well. Until we meet again, thanks for watching.